L-carnosine improves cognition, memory, energy levels, it prevents brain cell death, and it's an anti-aging product. It's a dipeptide of the amino acids beta-alanine and histidine. It's found throughout the body. The highest concentrations are in high energy demand areas like the brain, the heart, and the muscles. It's known as the longevity molecule. Carnosine levels decrease with age, starting at age 10, and they decrease by 63% by the time you reach 70 years of age. L-carnosine is one of the most powerful antioxidants known. It's a heavy metal scavenger. It's a super autoregulator, and it stands alone when it comes to preventing and reversing advanced glycation end products and cross-linking, and it's highly concentrated in the brain. The brain uses L-carnosine to repair tissue and to clear away toxins, and increases the energy output of the mitochondria. It suppresses excess immune responses when your immune system is in hyper mode, and it stimulates the immune response if you have a weakened immune system. L-carnosine prevents and it reverses the damage done by advanced glycation end products. These are created in your brain by sugars binding to amino acids, and they're caused by a variety of things, including certain food and cooking techniques, affecting word recall, response time, and cognition. L-carnosine can revive the mitochondria, and it can even rescue your brain cells if the mitochondria have stopped functioning. L-carnosine has a powerful antioxidant effect on your brain. It continues to prevent oxidative damage even after brain cells have been attacked by free radicals, preventing brain cell death and neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. L-carnosine is a dipeptide of the amino acids beta-alanine and histidine. Carnosine is found throughout the body. The highest concentration are in high energy demand areas like the brain, the heart, and the muscles. L-carnosine is known as the longevity molecule, and it targets several major processes in the brain and the body. It removes heavy metals that accumulate in and damage the brain cells, causing diseases like Alzheimer's, and it prevents cross-linking of proteins, which cause the neurofibrillary tangles that are found in Alzheimer's. L-carnosine fights mitochondrial dysfunction by relieving oxidative stress that's caused by the accumulation of free radicals in the cells. This not only works in your brain cells, but the L-carnosine is used by athletes to achieve better results. Its buffering nature contributes to the acid-base balance in the muscles. Researchers have found that L-carnosine restores neurotransmitter receptors that were damaged from a stroke or glutamate toxicity, and the L-carnosine reduces damage to the telomeres. These caps on the end of the DNA strand shorten with each cell replication. This natural ongoing process is used, for example, in long-term potentiation that's needed to form memories. The L-carnosine slows the rate of the shortening of the telomeres. Some L-carnosine is naturally produced in your body by the enzyme carnosine synthase, and you get some of the L-carnosine from food, primarily from red meat and poultry, but a typical meal provides only about 250 milligrams of carnosine. It's then quickly degraded in your body by the carnosinase enzyme. This means carnosine from food doesn't last long enough in the body to provide much benefit, and if you're a vegetarian, you won't be getting much carnosine other than what's naturally produced in the body. By supplementing with at least 1000 milligrams of L-carnosine per day, you can overwhelm that carnosinase enzyme, and this allows the body to maintain a consistent blood level of this vital nutrient. L-carnosine is critical for brain health. L-carnosine's antioxidant, neuroprotective, chelating, and anti-glycation activity not only maintains the optimal brain function, the dipeptide can be used to prevent and to treat neurodegenerative diseases, diabetes, diseases of the sense organs like the eyes, and cancer. L-carnosine has been shown to reduce oxidative and glycemic stress, and it reduces inflammation. The L-carnosine reduces the accumulation of beta-amyloid plaque, and this plays a role in cognitive dysfunction and Alzheimer's. and it helps to remove heavy metals that cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in the brain cells. L-carnosine is required for healthy mitochondria. In your brain, you can have thousands of mitochondria in each cell, and they pump out energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. 20% of your body's total ATP is located in the brain. Glycation during this energy production reduces the functionality and the efficiency of the mitochondria. This in turn can cause apoptosis or cell death. Glycation happens when proteins or DNA bond chemically to sugar molecules. These sugar molecules go on to form the advanced glycation end products. These are implicated in Alzheimer's, skin wrinkles, hardening of the arteries, and reducing the function of most major organs, including the brain. A study in the Netherlands was done to examine the association between advanced glycation end products and cognitive function. This population-based study also included 215 people with type 2 diabetes. Researchers tested for global cognitive functioning, information processing speed, verbal memory, immediate and delayed word recall, and response inhibition. The study found there was a direct correlation with the markers measured for the advanced glycation end products and decreased cognitive performance, and the association was no different between healthy people and those with diabetes. Another study out of the University of California determined that the L-carnosine was able to prevent the advanced glycation end products. Free electrons are a byproduct of ATP energy production. These electrons convert oxygen to a highly reactive form capable of damaging brain cells and wreaking havoc with DNA in the long term. If left unchecked, it leads to neurodegenerative diseases like memory loss, cognitive dysfunction, and eventually diseases like Alzheimer's. ATP levels decline in the mitochondria. Cognition, learning, memory, and recall decline. Advanced glycation end products damage the brain cells. Free radicals damage the brain cells' mitochondria. All of these changes can happen at any age, and they can start at the age of 10 or earlier in the case of autism. L-carnosine supplementation can help for the age-related cognitive decline, as well as anyone who wants to boost cognition, learning, recall, and memory. There's a proven high correlation between human lifespan and L-carnosine levels. The L-carnosine is highly concentrated in the muscles and the brain, and is directly involved in a number of life-extending activities. The L-carnosine helps to prevent the build-up of advanced glycation end products that damage the mitochondria and eventually end in premature cell death. It's a heavy metal chelator, and it works by removing heavy metal accumulation in the brain cells. The L-carnosine is an antioxidant and a pH buffer in the muscle cells, also preventing lactic acid buildup. When supplementing with L-carnosine, you should notice younger looking skin, and you'll have more energy. L-carnosine boosts the energy, so you should experience a boost in cognition and decision-making capability. Thinking could be more fluid, and your motivation may also see a boost. These changes are reported by users in their 20s and their 30s, as well as the more senior users. Most of the talk and the research on L-carnosine is on its anti-aging and its longevity benefits. It turns out that the influenza virus raises nitric oxide and oxygen free radicals such as superoxide anion. When the nitric oxide and the O2 interact, they form perioxynitrate, the pathogen that causes pneumonia. The excess amount of toxicity and oxygen radicals generated overwhelms the immune system. A study in the American Journal of Therapeutics reports that the L-carnosine can put a stop to this overwhelming reaction, and it can help you to avoid or get rid of the cold or flu. Eating chicken soup to make you feel better when sick is not just an old wives' tale. The chicken soup is rich in L-carnosine. Animals and human studies suggest NMDA antagonists worsen executive function. This dysfunction is often caused by glutamate toxicity, and if it persists, you end up with diseases like schizophrenia. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study worked with 75 adults with schizophrenia. They were stable in their symptoms at the time of the study. The subjects were randomly selected to receive 2 grams of L-carnosine per day for 3 months. Executive dysfunction, memory, attention, and motor speed were assessed at the beginning and at 4 and 12 weeks. The L-carnosine group performed much better in the executive function tests, and they were better at strategy with fewer errors than the placebo group. L-carnosine enhances frontal lobe function in the brain. It acts as a neuroprotectant, and it also works with GABA for an anti-convulsive effect. This double-blind study with 31 children with autism for 8 weeks, where they were given 800 milligrams of L-carnosine per day, and the scientists used several autism rating scales to measure the results. And after 8 weeks of the L-carnosine use, the children showed significant improvements in behaviour, sociability, communication, and vocabulary. The researchers concluded that the L-carnosine enhanced the neurological function. Human cells have a limited capacity to divide, after which they become senescent. This is now known as the Hayflick limit. L-carnosine slows brain cell apoptosis. Hayflick discovered that your cells go through 3 phases. This first is rapid cell division, called mitosis. The second is where mitosis slows down, and the third stage is senescence, where the cell stops dividing entirely. They remain alive for a while, and then they do a particularly disturbing thing. They commit suicide. This programmed cell death is called apoptosis. This cell life cycle occurs throughout the body and in its trillions of cells, including in your brain. Researchers at Sydney Laboratory in Australia found that L-carnosine extended the cell life. They put cultured aged human cells into a petri dish with carnosine. The cells reverted back to the juvenile cells. When they put those same newly rejuvenated cells into a culture that had no carnosine, they reverted back to their old self again. Put them back in the carnosine and they got young again. This experiment has been done again and again in labs around the world, establishing L-carnosine as the best anti-aging supplement. Recommended L-carnosine dose is 1000 milligrams per day. To keep a consistent level of L-carnosine in your body, split the dose into 2 500 milligram doses, one in the morning and one later in the afternoon. One important note of L-carnosine: when you supplement with it, it binds to aldehydes, preventing them from making proteins. The byproduct is lipofuscin. This age pigment is not dangerous, but it shows up as brown spots on your brain, skin, and other organs. Centrophenoxine, the choline source, can help to remove lipofuscin, so it could be a beneficial stack. As lipofuscin builds up over time, and this process is accelerated when using L-carnosine, it can interfere with proper organ and cellular function. This is why people recommend stacking the L-carnosine with DMAE and acetyl L-carnitine. DMAE is a naturally occurring nutrient and it enhances acetylcholine synthesis, and acetyl L-carnitine boosts the mitochondrial energy while acting as a neuroprotectant. Centrophenoxine, DMAE, and acetyl L-carnosine can help to flush out lipofuscin from the brain and the body. L-carnosine is water-soluble, so you don't need to take it with a meal or a healthy fat like some of the nootropics. Carnosine is considered an extremely non-toxic and safe substance. High doses can cause insomnia, and L-carnosine can cause a stimulant effect, so you should take your second dose before the evening. Your body does make some L-carnosine on its own from amino acids, beta-alanine and histidine, and you can get small quantities from red meat and poultry, but it's easily and quickly broken down by the enzyme carnosine synthase. So to get its benefits, and to get enough to overwhelm the carnosine enzyme, you need to take it as a supplement. L-carnosine is especially helpful for repairing brain cells at the mitochondrial level. It removes heavy metals, and it works as a very powerful antioxidant, and it gets rid of advanced glycation end products. Advanced glycation end products kill brain cells. Foods that are high in the advanced glycation end products include food that's roasted, fried, sautéed, barbecued meats, nuts and tofu. Those fries that you had for lunch can kill brain cells. Your natural production of L-carnosine starts to drop at the age of 10, so anyone can benefit from supplementing with this anti-aging nutrient. L-carnosine helps to control blood glucose levels, prevent Alzheimer's, improve wound healing, protect from the side effects of chemotherapy, help with alcohol-induced liver damage, combating heart disease and eye health by protecting or repairing cataracts. L-carnosine is also particularly useful if you're dealing with autism or Alzheimer's. For autism, doses up to 800 milligrams per day, and for Alzheimer's, doses of at least 1000 milligrams per day. And don't forget to stack the L-carnosine with centrophenoxine, DMAE, or acetyl L-carnitine. For more information about herbs, supplements, and natural treatments, check out my website.